Everybody, it's Young Black Jedi back again with another video. Yo, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It really helps the algorithm. Thank you so much. Yo, today we're really going to get into why it's important for us as humans to go through adversity. Like, the more we just stay comfortable in what it is that is holding us back from facing that adversity and allowing for us to really start growing and maturing into the adult that we are meant to develop into, the longer it will only hold us back and make us more fearful around the life that is really meant for us to be lived, right? Like, we all have a destiny that God has planned for us, right? But the more that we cower into our old ways and cower into our toxic habits, the more we cower into our fear-based thinking around adversity, the harder things are going to get, right? And it's like, that's what I'm starting to realize more and more in my life, like just walking through adversity, walking through things that are uncomfortable, allowing for myself to enjoy and embrace what is actually uncomfortable, because actually in that will allow for me to become more whole and become more attuned to myself, right? That I can be able to handle anything that life throws at me, right? And all of us people who are really awakening to ourselves are starting to realize that adversity is our best friend, right? Why overcoming adversity is so important, right, as a human being. Because it's like, if we don't continue to keep challenging ourselves each and every single day and getting out there and getting into the real world and doing things that we don't want to do, life's only going to get harder. It doesn't get easier if we just go for what is comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I had issues with certain addictions, and it's like, that was a thing that allowed for me to just remain comfortable in my own fear-based ego structure of not wanting to feel anything that was of the slightest bit uncomfortable. I would want to just completely avoid anything that was uncomfortable, and that was really to my detriment, right? Of allowing, now that I'm not doing that any longer, it allows for me to continue to see what it is that I need to see so that I can continue to keep growing, right? And allow for myself on this hero's journey to handle that adversity, right? Like, I have God first, like, you put on his armor, you have mother, and you have that connection of releasing into the stability of the planet, right? That takes the pressure off of you, so you completely can engulf yourself into a more sacred understanding of self, and that will allow for us to continue to keep growing through any and all adversity, right? But if we just keep cowering and going back into what it is that is causing us to suffer, we'll never be able to see what's on the other side of that hill or mountain, or however you want to define it. And the more that I continue to keep doing that, the greater my life gets, the stronger that I become, the more patient that I become, the wiser I am becoming. That's the whole point of going through all this, is because it's like, it will allow for us to gain that spiritual strength, right? A lot of us have that physical strength already, so that's like important also to have, right? Working out also does that too. It just pushes you through, a tough, uncomfortable situation, and you become very resilient and you feel strong afterwards. It's the same deal with spirituality and spiritual awakenings, right? The more we continue to keep awakening, we see how wide awake we are at the wheel, right? We see how wide open we truly are, right? That's the whole point of being able to go through adversity, right? The hero's journey is the deepest, most altruistic journey that we can do for ourselves, right? The more that we can continue to keep awakening to ourselves and what it is that was holding us back, we're able to now take on life and be able to start conquering, right? This goes for sisters too. It's not just for men also. Like, even a lot of our sisters go through adversity too, but they also are forged in strife as well, right? This world is challenging for all of us, men and women. That's why I'm speaking to both audiences here, right? The more that we can continue to keep charging through righteously, right, the more we'll be filled, right? We'll be filled with righteousness. We will be filled with understanding, right? If that is what we're hungry and thirsty for, that is what we will be filled with, right? And I'm taking some subtext there, kind of out of the gospel there, that I was reading yesterday. And the more that we can continue to keep striving for greatness through adversity, the better our lives will become, the stronger we will become, the more orderly we will become, the more compassionate we will become, the more tenacious and ferocious we will become, right, at this game of life. Because it's a ruthless business. Life is a ruthless game, right? But we have to be able to stand tall in our autonomy and our power and go through that adversity for the altruistic journey for ourselves, right? The hero's journey is for us. That's the whole point of it. And others that come together and start cooperating, that are also on this journey too. We need everybody at this point, you know what I mean? And the more that we can continue to keep striving through adversity, it forges us into strength, you know what I mean? And we forge that in solitude, right? We allow for ourselves to continue to keep flourishing and growing, and allowing for ourselves to feel nourished, doing the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves and to stay in harmony with what it is that we align with, right? That will allow for us to continue to keep growing a better life, and allow for us to continue to keep prospering and understanding who we are on a much deeper level, because the surface level is just no longer enough. We have the surface level relationships, like at work I have them, and all that's great, but there's a far deeper relationship that I am needing to go into with myself. That's why you don't see me with a girlfriend, you don't see me with a group of friends, you don't see me with packs of people. I went to see Fish last night, which was awesome. I love them. Just every time I see them, they're just getting better and better each year, and shout out to them. They played a great first summer opener here in New England, so went back to the roots. It was really good. And even in that, I was just enjoying being by myself, walking through the crowd by myself, enjoying just walking around and just being around other people, but yet being so close to myself. That's something that I've always struggled with, right? Because I had to go through some adversity, and I'm continuing to keep going through adversity, and there's going to be more adversity that I'm going to continue to keep going through, that is going to continue to keep forging who I am, to allow for myself to feel at peace and whole with myself, even in a whole crowd of people, right? That's what we want. That's the aim of the name of the game here, right? The more that we can continue to keep doing so, the better our lives will become, the more whole we will feel, and the more honest we are with our surroundings and our environment, and the more we are responding to our environment, the better our life will become. We will be forged in the adversity in which life has for us, that is destined to get us to our ultimate end game here, end goal, however you want to define it. And the more we can continue to keep staying in that and attuning to that, the stronger we will become. That is the whole point of why we go on the hero's journey, why us Jedi have all taken the hero's journey, why you've taken the hero's journey, right? I know you've taken it, and you want to continue to keep going further into it, and you will get stronger, and you will become better, and you will become wiser, and you will become more compassionate, and you will become faster, bigger, and stronger on all levels, metaphysically, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, all of it. It will all continue to keep happening for you and for all of us as a collective, as we continue to awaken, wide awake, right? Wide awake, right? Being really awake at the wheel here is the name of the game. So the deeper that we can continue to keep seeing into ourselves, the wider our field gets, right? The more we can surrender to sacred world, the more we can get surrender to the God of our understanding, however you define it. Really, I'm surrendering to loving awareness, which I think is God, loving awareness, because that is God is love, and he is all-knowing, so thus making it loving awareness. That's how I interpret it, but we're all going to interpret it in many different ways, but we're all speaking the same language here. And the better our lives will get through overcoming adversity, getting alone by ourselves, even when we might not want to, dealing with things that we might not want to deal with right now, doing things that we probably don't want to be doing right now, but just doing it because we know that ultimately, that as we're forged through all of it, it will ultimately lead us to our desired destinations. So give me a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Hit that notification bell so that you can get all the notifications of Young Black Jedi when we decide to hop on the pod here. And may the force be with you all. Have a great rest of the day. Love you so much. Peace.